if your blood pressure is good and that's healthy, then you can do as much gear as you want. I've had 28-year-old friends pass away because of abuse.
Guys get the positive effect from testosterone. Females do too. The only difference is how much each one needs.
Jeffrey, remember the question you were doing the research, and the YouTubes was saying, hey, if your blood pressure is good and that's healthy, then you can do as much gear as you want, as long as that is. Can you relay this? I'm going to pull my team in here. He's going to relay something that he's been doing. He does a lot of the research for us here. So here's Jeffrey.
What's up?
You know how I love looking at TikToks and all these stuff about, HRT and TRT peptides. And one of them I saw was some guy, huge following, huge audience, a lot of engagement. And he was saying something along the lines of like, as long as your blood pressure is under control, bump it. Get up, do whatever you want, go crazy with it, And me and Mike were talking about that. Like, what are the implications of that? What's really what's behind that?
I mean, when you talk about blood pressure, yes, the blood pressure is key to keep under control. When blood pressure is off, there's going to be some things that are going to start happening negatively to your body, right? But usually when people's blood pressure is pretty good, it's usually when they're younger and they start getting older and their blood pressure doesn't start to be as good, right? And at that point, younger guys can abuse themselves more than older guys. It is a fact, right? And we don't bounce back. You can go back to the drinking if you go drinking. If you weren't drinking in your 20s and you recover, it was a lot quicker than now when you're 40 or 50, right? Mm-hmm. So, with that, the abuse comes. The wear and tear over the years come too as well. And then when we start talking about doing any amount of gear you want or doing anything you want, I mean, come on, what are the implications of that? I mean,
so am I correct then? So then my point, Jeffrey's point is correct. Is like, that's such a wrong information.
That dude.
Because if you, it's like a simple quote that I do is, in my 50s, sunblock in my 50s is a beautiful thing because I wore it in my 20s. Mm-hmm. And so at 50s, now I can go, okay, I got still healthy skin because of what I did in my 20s. Right. And that approach to me would go to the same thing. If these kids are going, well, I'm young, my blood pressure is fine, so I can get tons of stuff. Yep. There's other factors to this besides, sure, you can do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking the deterioration you do to your ligaments, to your body itself.
Absolutely.
That may not come out in 10 years, 20 years, but in time it will. Where's the logic here?
I mean, I don't see no logic with what the guy was making as a statement and the disinformation that people are giving out, and especially to younger viewers. TikTok's a younger viewer platform, right? So you're getting a lot of younger kids or younger adults on there, and they're watching this. So if they think it's okay because their buddy or their guru said it on a show, I mean, it's really bad, and it could lead some of these kids down to real bad paths where they could damage their kidneys, their livers. I mean, anything like that as far as that goes. And like you said, right, what you do now, you're going to pay for later, right? You're going to pay one day. You're never going to get away from that. So if you abuse yourself in your 20s all the way through, don't think in your 50s that you're just automatically going to be good to go. The more you take care of yourself now, the more or the less work you're going to have later to take care of yourself to a certain degree. So, with that, I don't see any logic with these guys putting out information like that. If anything, I think they're doing it for the views and all this other garbage. And I think they should be more responsible with the audience that they have.
How old was the person, do you think? Maybe 30s? Visually, I guess.
Visually, maybe 55.
Okay.
Wow. Actually, so he might have had an older crowd.
Okay, so visually 55, probably was around his 35.
Oh, wow.
So see? This goes back to my Cialis statement. I fully understand, and I hate doing that to kids. I understand, and I was that kid. I will beat anybody in a workout. I'll make sure you throw up before me, and if I throw up, I'll still come back and keep going. I get it, and I don't want to take that fire and that hunger and that wolf of a mentality away from anybody. Mm-hmm. But there has to be a controlled rage.
I agree.
There has to be a controlled rage, and then implement it smart. And I think this guy going, oh, guys, yes, factually, maybe that's what they're saying. I don't agree with it, but you can do whatever you want when you're young.
Right.
You can do all the stuff you want. But, I've had 28-year-old friends pass away because of abuse.
Of course.
Don't say that it's only these guys my age that are passing away. It's they can do
it's the younger guys, and that's a scary thing. These guys are really young. They're in their 20s and 30s, and they're dropping dead like that. That's a problem. It really is. And it's a shame, because even blood testing out of the way, it's real easy to go do an echocardiogram, and there's a couple other heart tests that next time you come in town, I'm going to take you to one of my he's a surgeon, basically, cardiovascular surgeon, and does all the advanced surgeries there. And he says there's testing we can do in his office that will tell you exactly where your heart's at, better than echocardiogram almost. So if you can run those two tests, you can really see what's going on. And these aren't hard tests to get done. I mean, so, it's just showing something.
I got to stop you before you keep going. Me and John have been talking a lot, and I have dove so deep in the last 5 years into, if there's a test out there, I've done it, and I've tried to see what's up, and I've tried to see every possibility, because of the fact that I get that I am a father now, an old father. And so I would love to be around for another 20, 30 years. Let's hope to see my son grow. And so I have fun doing these kind of tests and finding out where everything is. And so this is so fun for me to do all these kind of testings. And I did do a blood test with Titan Medical, and it will be 4 weeks ago. And I'm doing another one tomorrow. And then I'll be speaking with one of their doctors to go over my labs. But I love finding things and then fixing it. And this is like my lifting. If I find a weakness, I want that small little weakness fixed. And it's the same thing about the markers.
Absolutely.
So I love it. I'm holding you to that. I will do this.
We're going to do it for sure. 100%.
I love that. For you guys at home, let's take a moment here for some real questions from you guys.
Ooh.
Do you want to do the early wheat germ, folic acids, anything like that? Yeah, let's see what John's take on that is.
Let's get
boom. From Top Success, Mike, do you ever use flax seeds? I heard they lower testosterone. How do you feel about that?
What do you think, Johnny?
So I don't think they lower testosterone. I know a lot of people use flaxseed oil too as a supplement, but I don't think it's going to lower testosterone. And if it's going to lower testosterone, it's not going to be to the amount that you're going to notice per se, right? A couple points, but it's not going to take you down a couple 100 points, right? But I think flaxseed oil is going to have a benefit for some patients out there, and so I don't think that there's a negative side effect to that.
Now, he wasn't on earlier, and we've never discussed that topic, and that was the same thing. I've done it for a while, and I love it. And I find
it's good for you. I know my dad does it every day.
I'm even more so, and it feels like it boosts me. So, not as much as Cialis, but
no, maybe not as much as that, but that's okay.
Go for another one, Jeffrey.
Starter one, because you hear this one a lot. It's always about the age.
Yeah.
So Patrick goes, "What is a good age for starting TRT?"
Oh, that's a great question.
That's a great question. Good question. So as far as that goes for starting TRT, there's really no right age. Okay. Now let me just give you a couple examples down the road, both males and female side of it. So I'm gonna give my wife the example as a female. 16 years old. She has one of the most advanced cases of endometriosis in the country. They ran every kind of test on her. They did multiple laparoscopies. She needed an anti-estrogen. So at that point, she needed to block the estrogen because the estrogen was growing at so rapid rates, it would fuel the endometriosis inside and go to her different vital organs per se too, and latch onto these different things. So that's one on the female side. On the guy side, so when I say that there's no real right age, because you would say that 30
Are you
years
jumping
old,
over to guys? Before you go to guys, also, I know women have such a small amount of testosterone, but there's still an important part to it.
100%.
Bone density, isn't there a huge issue with women that have such low testosterone with bone density?
Osteoporosis, low bone density, low libido, low energy, all these different things that Guys get the positive effect from testosterone. Females do too. The only difference is how much each one needs. And obviously a female is a lot lower than a male. It is a masculine hormone, but they have this masculine hormone, just like we have estrogen in our body, right? Which is a female dominant hormone. But we have a little bit where they have much more than us. It's just all about balancing those hormones and optimizing them. And everything needs to be in harmonic balance. It's not just introducing one hormone, because they start going into other hormones, right? And aromatizing, like testosterone, aromatizing to estrogen. You want to make sure that you know these pathways and you're monitoring these pathways too as well. So, for females, obviously, testosterone has been a game changer for so many different females out there. And a lot of females are lower deficient. And that age group, like I said, can range anywhere. Now, should somebody 21 years old probably take testosterone? Probably not, right? And I know there's people that are younger that have abused, whether it's SARMs, and crashes their levels, or steroids of some sort. And at that point, they're at a chopping block where now they didn't reboot back to where they used to be. And they never did a blood test to even see where their baseline was at, where you should probably start there. And a lot of guys don't. But now, back in the day, I would say, 10, 15, 20 years ago, there wasn't places like us where you could go and get a blood test.
Right.
You had to go into your general practitioner, and he's going to give you the up and down stare and why you want to do this, and I'm not running these tests. And they still do it today. So, at that point, there's more resources out there. But, somebody that's 25 years old and has low testosterone, if they keep continuing on, they're going to lose at least 1% of testosterone every single year. And that depends on where they're at right at that point. They could be at 387, they could be at 400, and it starts lowering and lowering and lowering. And at that point, their quality of life is nothing, right? Yeah. At 25 years old, you should be a young buck stud, rocking and rolling, doing what you need to do, and setting up your life. Yeah. And it doesn't happen for a lot of these people out there. And a lot of people don't even know they have low testosterone, and they're just cover up the symptoms, whether it's energy drinks, and because they have no energy and they don't feel like they've woken up refreshed and they've had 10 hours of sleep, a lot more than I would have. Right. Or cognitive function in their body and metabolism. I mean, there's so many different things that go along with this. So it's something that we really need to look at. And like you said, the first step is to really blood test and see what it is, so you can make an educated decision about what's going on instead of guessing and playing Frankenstein with your body.
I love that you said that. And at later times, I absolutely loved today's discussion, just getting on here with getting some good information for everybody out there. And again, if they want to reach out to you and the company, sure, Titan Medical, let's put down the post here, and we'll also put it in the caption of the YouTube video. And so for everybody at Instagram and TikTok and everything like that, make sure to go on over there and follow John himself, and then also the team, Titan Medical. These guys are really I got to go out and hang out and see some friends, Robert Irvine, you guys, Big Drew, monstrous Drew, not Big Drew, and just got to see the flow of the business and the level you guys have taken this to. So highly recommend. It's a big endorsement from me to you guys go out there, and touch base with them, and touch base. And ask questions, though. Ask questions. Feel free to ask questions.
Please.
But not to me, to this guy. I mean, I'll give you the best advice I can, but at the end of the day, the best answers should only be asked after the fact that you got your blood work done and we know what's going on.
Absolutely.
And again,
it also applies to women, right?
Yes, it does apply to women. Sure. As Mona walks in and the whole house shakes.
Let's make sure that
What's up, Mona?
Hi.
That's right. Yeah. I love it.
So girls.
We see girls rule too. Our wives rule.
He wants to see
our girls rule.
Yeah, look at that. Woo!
Louise.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Yesterday. But us women, we could also use and utilize all the knowledge you guys have. Oh my gosh, there's so much that I have to learn. I'm so excited.
We've got so much for you guys, and it's going to be awesome. And there's just more stuff coming too. It's just, as we advance, it's like anything else, like technology, even medicine, therapies are advancing, so there's more cutting edge things that are coming about that are hopefully going to be game changers for anti-aging, longevity, and, improving quality of life. That's what it's all about.
I would like to set this up for next week if you have time on Tuesday. Okay. Just because you are Titan Medical, Titan Tuesday. It
Yeah.
just seems like a ring to me.
Yeah, I love it.
I would like to go into depth on a couple things, and it is the discussion about. I know that HRT companies have used HGH,
Mhm.
is highly recommended and stuff like that, but also what it does to your body and to carbohydrates. And then they
Mhm.
start pulling in secondary things.